A couple years back when I was in college, I was the victim of a long-term stalker. This is a pretty long story and really builds on itself. I have cut it down a bit to be more coherent, but I have not changed any facts. Also, quick note in the texting sections. The things I say are always prefaced with me. The other stuff in quotes is the stalker. Edit. I was asked to clarify. I'm a male, 20 at the time. It started out fairly innocuous. On Valentine's Day, I started to receive secret admirer type text messages from an unknown number. I assumed it was a friend of mine playing a joke as I was in a room with a handful of tech-savvy people at the time. I tried to gauge their reactions and asked if anyone was messing with me. They all denied it, and I believed them. They're pretty bad liars. It was further confirmed that it was none of them when I got a phone call from the number. A voice on the other end said, "Is this my name?" I replied, "Yes, who is this?" hoping I could identify the voice. At that point, they hung up and resumed texting. At the time, a lot of my friends lived together, and the people who didn't live there and enjoyed pranks weren't really committed or knowledgeable enough to sign up for a fake number texting service. Things started to get weird when the person began asking pretty personal questions, including repeatedly asking, "Are you doing something tonight?" To which I replied, "Yes, I was working." But they kept insisting we should meet up. On top of all this, I was getting various images sent to me from a separate email, username @textnow.me. This confirmed it wasn't a real number, and I now had a username to connect to the person. I don't know if it was their intention, but I actually enjoy trying to figure out shit like this, and took it upon myself to expose this person without giving away anything about myself. So I kept it up. I texted them back for a while, and dug more and more information about the person, compiling it into a profile and eliminating possibilities. Unfortunately, this just encouraged them, as they insisted I send pictures. "Take pics! Pics add to the combo!" etc. Then they sent a weird one. A white lacy dress hanging in their closet with the accompanying text, "My wedding dress for when I marry you." Various heart and love emojis. Pic of your reaction. No. Why not? Please? Pics of your surroundings, please? Your room? Your face? Anything more? You gotta tell me who you are, otherwise I'm definitely not sending you any pictures. I'm not telling you who I am until I feel comfortable. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You're the one who's uncomfortable? They continued to pry about where I was going to be that evening, and I still refused to give details. Then they dropped where they were going to be, a party on campus that night. I couldn't go regardless, I was working. I should also mention that the texting conversation was all over the place. It was like 3 different people were all trying to talk to me about different things all at once. Again, I was bombarded with personal questions about past relationships and, "What kind of girl do you find yourself most attracted to?" There was a little bit more back and forth, not too interesting. Then I got another bombshell. They asked if I lived in apartment 68, which I did. I lied. Close, but not quite. "Oh, I could have sworn. Where do you live? Are you involved with anyone at the moment?" I recognized the style of apartment they were in, based on the picture from earlier, so I decided I'd throw a curveball. "You live in this complex, right?" "What? How do you know?" "I recognized your door." All the shitty apartments had the same color door frame, which was visible on the edge of a picture they sent. The conversation kind of fizzled out here. I didn't go to that party, and didn't get any more texts. Among the pictures they sent me were some screenshots of my Facebook, photos of their bed, a pipe, some posters, pretty boring stuff. So that was February. Fast forward to October, the following school year. I was a senior and busy as fuck. One evening, I got a text from an unknown number. Is this my full name? So I played dumb, pretending like I wasn't freaking out that after many months, this person was contacting me again, and I still hadn't figured out who it was. These questions were instantly more personal and really weirded me out. Don't ruin the fun. Not knowing who I am is part of the mystery. I won't tell you who I am. Not now. Too much to lose. I don't want you to know. Not because I'm being cruel, it's just better if you didn't know. That doesn't make sense. Trust me, you don't want to know. You'll be better off not knowing. Trust me. Okay, whatever. Why are you texting me again? Are you mad at me? I just have no one to talk to. Does my personhood really matter? Can we talk about something else? Like what? I'm pretty tired of this shit and trying to work, but I do want to see if I can pick out any more details, so I'm doing the bare minimum to keep this going. Do you celebrate Halloween? I guess I'm boring you. I have a better question. Have you ever been in love? No. How do you know if you've never experienced it? For a response so extreme, you'd think you'd experienced it before, but I guess it's a matter of perspective. You must be a godly man then. These texts are coming so fast, I can't keep up. Was that too harsh? What a response. Bye. Explosion and violin emojis. The next day, around the same time, I get another text. Keep in mind, the person is referring to their friend, but I honestly believe the friend is made up. I was talking to my friend about you today. Who's your friend? Don't you want to know what we talked about? Yeah, sure. Then like 3 hours later they replied. We talked about how you seem like the type of person to fall in love easily. You're a sap. Not in a negative way, just an observation, like you're wishing for the one. Haha. All you care about is finding my identity. That would be the most awkward thing ever. Why so eager? Wouldn't you be weirded out? No, probably not. A lie. We've been in class before. What year? Maybe if you got to know me, you'd figure it out. Okay, tell me about yourself. Hey, why don't you comment about the observation my friend and I made? Say how you feel. What does that mean? Say how you feel. This makes me uncomfortable. You never ask me any questions. I started messing with them, asking really random questions. This made them really mad. Do you like cats? Do you like long walks on the beach? I live by the beach. Which one? A famous one. A lot of people have sex on the beach under the blanket of night. Near a city? How do you like state and town I'm from? How do you know I'm from there? The internet is my best friend. Are you nervous? You're just a boy. You're boyish. Let's admit it's nothing bad. It's cute. How old are you? You haven't figured that out already? When's your birthday? The month and day, please. Tell me now. I just want to know your sign. Virgo. OMG. I like Virgos. You're obedient, submissive, like a puppy dog. Isn't that funny? I just laughed. Now I ask you a question. Have you been in a relationship before? Why did your relationship fail? Not telling you about this. This is annoying. Then they sent me a ton of different random photos from Google. My friend asked me to ask you something, but I don't think I will. What? Can we change subjects now? How was your day? Mine was bad, but I don't want to relive it again. It was something I did wrong, so I only have myself to blame. She wanted to ask something intimate, but I'm not going to share, since you don't like talking about that. It's extreme, you're probably not going to answer. I feel sick asking it. Don't have me. I'm just a messenger. I'm embarrassed. You're not going to answer. I could. Okay, so We really want to know if you're a virgin or not. Scratch the virgin part. Ever had intercourse is a better phrase. I knew you wouldn't answer. I didn't answer, and they didn't write anything else. That was all October. This is December and the end of the semester. Hey! Who's this? It's me. I can tell you who I am. When I leave campus, I'm never going to see you again. But I can tell you who I am. Okay, tell me. When I leave campus, I'm never going to see you again. I'm going to be gone. You're so serious. Hello? I'm leaving next week, so... You're ruining it though. Now I want to punch you. Sorry, I didn't mean to send that last one. Oops. Then they proceeded to call me multiple times. I denied every call, but they kept coming. I think there were 14 calls that night. Then a text from a new fake number. OMG. Sent from textnow.com. Please stop texting me. Then there were more calls. I turned my phone off. The following week, I was in the Class 1 T8. Students were presenting their final work on the projector, and I had queued multiple tabs on the projection computer. 2 different students had work on Google Drive. When the second student logged into their account, they didn't open a private window, so it logged out the first student. Hope that makes sense. I saw this happen, but the first student wasn't in the room, so when she came back, I asked her to re-log in. We were both standing in the projection booth. She was at one end of the computer, and I was messing with the sound system on the other side, but happened to turn and look at the projection screen when she was logging into Google. This hit me like a ton of bricks. The username she logged in with was the same username as the TextNow account that had been sending me photos. I quickly turned away and pretended to be busy with something until she finished opening her work. I thanked her and she left the booth without realizing her mistake. I tried to play it cool, but inside I was going crazy for the rest of the class. For almost a year, I knew who it was. She finally slipped up, and honestly, I was much more scared now than I had ever been. This person had a history of being pretty creepy around my friends, and although she had never personally interacted with me outside of class, all my friends had strange experiences. Side note, here are 2 abbreviated ones to fully illustrate the craziness. My friend Michael was working endlessly on his thesis in the building. He was about 50 hours into a no-sleep work binge, and it's like 7 a.m. She walks in and starts working on a computer in the lab. Another guy, Dave, comes in and remarks about Michael. "You're still here? I've been working for days, starting to see things out of the corner of my eye. Sometimes I see a tall man in a suit." She immediately turns around and says, "You see him too?" Michael has no idea what to say, and Dave makes a joke about it being the ghost of the building. She doesn't say anything and goes back to work. Another friend, Isaac, also worked late in this building and sometimes would find her waiting outside the front door around 3 a.m., and she would follow him home. Occasionally, she showed up outside his door at night and demanded to be let in. One time, while I was actually at his place, she came to the back door with a peephole and knocked for upwards of 20 minutes. We pretended not to be home and shut all of the blinds on the front of the house and went upstairs. There's plenty more to tell about their interactions, including one where she attacked him at a party, but that's delving way into another story. Edit. Isaac wrote a comment going into a little more detail from his perspective. So point being, she kind of had a reputation in our friend group, and we generally tried to keep our distance. I had always assumed I was immune. Sorry to say there's really no conclusion to the story. Someone advised me to file a complaint with the school and try to get a restraining order or something. I figured if we all talked to someone and explained our experiences, we could at least keep her from showing up at our front door. I made a meeting with the counselor who seemed to really care and offered to look into it. A couple weeks later, emailed me saying, "This student is going abroad next semester, so we're not going to do anything." I insisted that at least something temporary be put into place, and that although I was graduating at the end of the year, Isaac would be returning for one more year. Michael had graduated a year before me. They didn't do anything. But what did I expect? The school is pretty notorious for not giving a shit. I didn't run into her again. She hasn't texted me. And Isaac ended up taking a year off. So for the time being, that is where the story ends. I do have screenshots and all the photos, but I'm hesitant to share them in the interest of anonymity. Thanks for understanding.